But we begin in the UK, where a highly controversial flight is about to take off tonight. The plane is heading to Kigali, Rwanda. On board are 7 asylum seekers who have been hoping to make Britain their home. Instead, they're now going to be forced to live in the East African nation. There have been multiple legal challenges to the deportation, but today the UK Supreme Court ruled the flight could go ahead. Having said that, only 7 people will be on board that flight tonight due to individual appeals claims.
It's a key part of our strategy for tackling the appalling people smugglers who are trading in people's hopes and dreams and in many cases costing their lives. If people aren't on the flight today, they will be on subsequent flights to Rwanda.
So we also want to make it clear that if people apply for asylum in Rwanda and their claim is rejected to the process that we'll have here, they will still have a pathway to legal residency in Rwanda. And we welcome people from everywhere. So the new arrivals will be free to come and go as they please.
Let's cross now to London to speak to Bénédicte Paviot. Bénédicte, given the number of legal appeals, is this flight actually going to take off?
We believe the flight, the controversial flight, is indeed set to go ahead. The Prime Minister's message is clear. He has been defending plans again today to fly asylum seekers to Rwanda. In last-ditch legal appeals at the High Court, 3 men hours ago, due to be on this very first flight of this Rwandan asylum scheme struck between London and Kigali, those 3 legal appeals have failed in their bids to avoid being removed from the United Kingdom to Rwanda. We believe one other legal challenge is ongoing. We don't know what time this flight is going to take off. We've simply been told that it will be taking off this evening, and I gather it's already on the runway. So the plane is ready, the crew is ready. How many people will be on board? So last night the Home Office was saying just 8 people would be. UK media reports since this morning have now been 7, as we have. The flight was originally due to carry 135 passengers, but most have succeeded in their individual appeals against removal. And speaking earlier during the cabinet meeting, Mr. Johnson said the government was, quote, going to get on and deliver on its plan. He also said that this scheme, he knew this scheme was always going to attract what he called plenty of legal challenges, and said the government may very well need to change the law.
Such strong reaction to the government's move, even from Prince Charles, Bénédicte.
Yes. Well, first, it's very unusual that we would learn of this. But yes, the heir to the throne, Prince Charles, has indeed, according to UK media reports, let it be known that he was very critical of this policy of the British government. Let's also remember that this is the first in a 5-year trial. That is the deal struck between London and Kigali, in which some asylum seekers who have entered the United Kingdom illegally plan to be flown to Rwanda to claim refuge there, and if they're successful, stay there. I understand that next month judges will consider separately whether the government's policy is lawful, and if it is ruled unlawful, interestingly, some people could be returned to the UK from Rwanda. And in the legal challenges, and even those that failed this afternoon, lawyers were asking how that would go ahead. Now, what also needs to be put in context is the fact that 138 people have reached the United Kingdom today, so far, in 3 boats from the French coast. Overall, that means that more than 10,000 migrants have been recorded as making that perilous journey in which 31 people we know died in the Channel last autumn. So yes, this scheme has been heavily criticised by opposition parties here, by, as I said, the heir to the throne, we believe. Also, in a very public letter to the Times newspaper, senior Church of England leaders have described the plan as, quote, an immoral policy that shames Britain. So there's no end of controversy, no end of criticism. But as we were hearing Liz Truss, the Foreign Secretary, who was deployed in various studios this morning, she has been saying, however few people there are on this flight, and we think, as we said, that it might just be 7, this is about establishing the principle and what she says, as indeed her boss, the Prime Minister, says, breaking people traffickers' business models. And it's not just about the numbers today, it's the principle. So it looks set to go ahead. We should, in all fairness, say that some people support this, not least quite a few people in Dover, where many of these illegal migrants reach British shores from the French ones.
Bénédicte Paviot reporting there from London. Thank you.